My name's David Baker. I'm Chair of the Queensland Christian RI Alliance, but our job is to sit at that kind of statewide level and deal with government, deal with politicians and support the delivery of this ministry. It became a part of our nature. That is, if you wanted to do something in Queensland, you didn't look to government. You look to your own resources, you look to a network of people around you in the community, and you put things in place. To such an extent that in 1875, in Queensland, the Education Act was introduced, and that removed RI from state schools.
This is untrue. As you can see from this excerpt from the 1875 Education Act, religious instruction could still be provided in state schools outside school hours.
There was a referendum besides an election in 1910, and the referendum was actually passed. 54 to 46% of that plebiscite wanted.
Due to a recommendation of the Labor government of the time, over 121,000 people refrained from voting on the issue of religious instruction. Had they done so, the result would likely have been very different.
Wanted to see Bible instruction, RI, back in schools. And so in 1911, RI was reintroduced into state schools in Queensland. But this human rights framework is increasingly coming into the way we understand how we operate as a society.
And in some senses, that idea comes along with...
If you're a multicultural society, if you're a multi-faith society, then what is the framework that binds you together, that is your foundational support? And of course, in local schools are under some significant pressure around managing this diversity. And of course, the other big challenges for schools is the increasing demands on schools to take over, to address issues that, traditionally, normally were the family addressed. And so they're in a particularly challenging space, many of our schools. And the question is, well, where does RI fit in with that? And of course, we believe RI fits profoundly strongly into that, because RI, in telling the story of Jesus, in telling the story of
the faith of the church, Christian faith, we're speaking about things that are about identity, that are about how you live with a neighbour who's different, the call to love your neighbour, the call to respect the innate dignity of every human being. And that dignity is not based on some particular characteristics, it's based on the fact that they are human. And to be human is to be made in the image of God.
So it is a fundamental dignity that we're called as Christians to manifest and to talk about, but also to live out in our Christian faith. And that is a profoundly strong gift to a society that is celebrating, recognising, acknowledging a multicultural space and a space of diversity. This is the opportunity for parents to exercise choice as to in a sense, the faith framework, the belief system that they want their child to be exposed to have some encounter with. It's a privilege because we've been invited into that space of those children and into their world. I think of the call of Moses. The people of Israel were suffering as slaves in Egypt, and God said to Moses, "I've seen what's happening to my people. I've heard their cry for help. I know they're suffering, so I'm sending you." So I think it's important and incumbent upon us as we enter into this space to take some time to see and to know, to hear, to understand what's happening in the life of children and young people.
We'll give the last word to the last full review of religious instruction, which was done in 1972. It says, state schools are predominantly educational institutions, and the justification for including any subjects in their curriculum must be found in educational theory and principle, and not in the domestic aims of any sectional group within society. Therefore, it is not the role of the Queensland State School to initiate the child into any particular faith. Education, rather than evangelism, should be the aim. This does not imply that the state school should ignore religion, but rather that the school as an educational institution should focus on the religious dimension from an educational point of view. Accordingly, the approach to religious education should be upon the same basis as that of any other subject, objective, impartial, and open-ended. In this sense, religious education is envisaged as teaching about religion, rather than instructing children in some particular religious doctrine with the aim of securing a commitment to that doctrine.